Hello everyone, welcome to this prediction video on my channel. We will be looking over match day 3 of the Euro 2024 qualifiers. Let's start off with the first game of the day, which is Finland versus Slovenia. I'm least likely thinking Slovenia win. I'm thinking it's between a draw or a narrow win for Finland. I expect Slovenia to have more possession. I'd say they're a better team overall. Finland, good defensively, good goalkeeper. I don't know if Puki's still playing. Finland getting that win at Northern Ireland was a good result. I think they've got enough to get something here. I'll say Finland 1, Slovenia 0. Let's go to Denmark versus Northern Ireland. They had that player who can't remember his name, but he scored all 5 of Denmark's goals so far. He's the current top scorer of the tournament against a Northern Ireland side who I think are okay, but Denmark should have more possession, more chances, and I think they'll have enough to get a 3-0 victory. Just don't think Northern Ireland really have much of an attacking threat to hurt Denmark. San Marino versus Kazakhstan. I think Kazakhstan have enough to score 3 goals. And let's go to the next group, which is Group B. Gibraltar vs France. France's depth is excellent. I think they've got enough to get a 6-0 victory. And then Greece vs Republic of Ireland. 2 good teams. Republic of Ireland, they made it a close game against France, and they tested Mike Maignan a lot. Could even say the goal was a fluke that they conceded. And they're away to a Greece side who was excellent in the Nations League. They've only been playing Gibraltar this time around, but I think they've got enough to get a 2-1 victory. And then we go to Group C, where we got Malta versus England. I don't expect the Manchester City players to be playing, so John Stones, Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish. Phil Foden might play because he won't get as much minutes, unless of course he starts. But if we're going by the predicted 11, he won't start. So, but on the other hand, he would still be training for that final. I expect the back four to look something like Trippier, Dunk, Maguire, Shaw, something like that. This is a game I think England should take a bit more seriously than perhaps you might expect, simply because pots for the Euros are decided based on points and goal difference, and goals scored. If England can get a strong win, then they can use that to assist themselves to potentially getting a strong finish in pot 1. England won 4-0 last time under Gareth Southgate. I think they're a bit better than back then, so I'll say 5-0. And next we look at North Macedonia versus Ukraine. Well, North Macedonia haven't been as good as they were. Ukraine so far have only played England away and did an okay account of themselves. Didn't test Pickford much, though. North Macedonia, they'll wish they could have beaten Malta by more than they did. I rate Ukraine higher, but I think North Macedonia have enough to get a draw at home, but I'll say a 0-0. And next we go to Group D. Wales versus Armenia. Armenia probably have to get something from either Wales away or Turkey away if they are going to have much of a chance to qualify. Wales have started very well. They got that draw at Croatia, which they only got that opportunity to because Dalic got complacent and was subbing off his best players. And then, of course, there was that 1-0 win versus Latvia, which I don't really know much about. I think they've got enough here. I think they'll score 2 goals. Do I go 2-1 or 2-0 to Wales? I'll go 2-0. And then let's look at Latvia versus Turkey. Well, Latvia did push Turkey all the way, and Turkey, he needed a late penalty to win that last game. Latvia so far did manage to get only a 1-0 loss at Wales. I mean, Turkey do usually have some clinical finishers. I don't see too much in this game, but I'll go a 1-0 win for Turkey. Next group, which has Andorra versus Switzerland, Israel, and so forth, and we're going to start with them in Group I. So Andorra versus Switzerland, I am going to go with 6-0 for Switzerland. Although that being said, Andorra did manage to hold off for a 2-0 loss and then a 1-1 draw at Kosovo. But I still think Switzerland are too strong. And then Israel versus Belarus. It's going to be in Belarus, 2-1. Israel, the better team, but not always the greatest away defensively. Also, a bit of a liability, so I'll give Belarus a goal. And Kosovo versus Romania, I'll say 2-1 to Kosovo. There's not much between the two. Kosovo are home, and I shall go with them to win. Next up, we go to Lithuania versus Bulgaria. Lithuania, I think this is the only game they could get a result out of, and they did beat Bulgaria in the last World Cup qualifiers. Bulgaria so far, 2 losses, no goals scored. Obviously, this is going to be their best chance of getting an away win, but I'll go a 1-1 draw. Montenegro versus Hungary. Hungary are a strong team. Montenegro, for their level, they're good. They haven't peaked compared to when they got to the playoffs in 2011-12. Hungary have some good finishes like Soboslai. I don't think I've said his name right, but I'm going to go a 3-0 win for Hungary. And next we go to Group J, Luxembourg versus Liechtenstein. I am going to go a 3-0 win for Luxembourg. And then Group A, go with a 2-1 victory. For this game, Norway, this is going to be the first of 2 games where they're at home, and this international break's a great chance for them to start firing and push themselves up the table. They did lose 3-0 at Spain, but what you've also got to take into account is it was 1-0 for a while. And in the 86th minute, something like that, they had a sitter that they missed, and then Joselu came on and punished them with 2 goals. So it was closer than it looked. And then going to Georgia, it was a decent result, even though they took the lead. And Sorloth did prove that he could show up. Haaland and Odegaard in behind. I think that's going to be a very dangerous threat to Scotland, which so far their home form's been excellent. A strong win over Cyprus, then beat Spain to our surprise. So it might seem a bit crazy that I'm betting against them. But that being said, since the World Cup qualifiers, Scotland have only won once away. And that's not to say this was the worst team, but it was to Armenia. So that's going to be the big test for Scotland. How well are they going to do away? And they're coming to Norway, which defensively they aren't at the best. Scotland, not as good in attack though. And I think Norway do have enough here. Georgia versus Cyprus. I will go with 2-0 to Georgia. And then go to the next group. And whilst they get that up, I do think Georgia, they will be competitive in this group. They do need to win this game for sure. I'm sure Kvara will have a big say on the goals and the assists. Looking at the next group, which is Group F, Azerbaijan versus Estonia. Azerbaijan, they've conceded 9 goals so far. They were limiting Sweden for a while, but I think that was kind of more so that Sweden weren't prolific until the last 10 minutes. My thoughts beforehand was that Azerbaijan would win at home and Estonia would win at home. But Estonia did play a good game against Austria, went in front and held them for a while, but the quality of Austria shone through. I'm going to go a 1-1 draw. I think Azerbaijan will get something at home. Now, Belgium versus Austria. Belgium, of course, started excellently with that 3-0 win in at Sweden. They've made a statement that they're back. They did also win in Germany, Germany haven't got back to their best yet, but it's so far a good start under this manager that they've got now. And they're up against Austria, who have won both their home games so far and have been looking good under Ralf Rangnick. I'm thinking Austria will get something in the reversed fixture, and I think they'll make it a close game here, but I think Belgium's a better team, and I'll go 2-1 to Belgium. And up next, we go to the next group, which is Group E. And as we look at Albania versus Moldova, so far 1 game, 1 loss against not a great Poland team. Moldova so far are unbeaten, having 2 home draws, including to the Czech Republic, which was rather impressive. There's no Armando Broja, the main striker, also the Chelsea striker. But I think Albania do have enough here. I will go with Albania 2, Moldova 0. Now, Faroe Islands versus the Czech Republic. Faroe Islands recently have been improving, although they did get a draw to the lowest ranked side, Moldova. I think they'll make it fairly close, and they might score, but I think Czech Republic do have enough to get a 2-1 win. Finally, let's round off with Group J, which is let's start with the more interesting game, Portugal versus Bosnia. I believe Bosnia are Portugal's hardest opponents in this group. Portugal have started very well, having scored 4 against Liechtenstein, 6 away at Luxembourg, which was impressive given that was meant to be a harder game. I haven't seen any squad announcement from Roberto Martinez, or if there is one, I haven't seen it. So I don't know if Ronaldo's playing at all. There's been doubts over whether Roberto Martinez would perform as Portugal would expect, but so far, despite the games not being much of a test, the goals are coming in, which is a great sign, and conceded no goals so far. Bosnia, this won't be an easy game, but I think they can Portugal a little bit of challenge. But I think Portugal have the goal threat to get this win. I'm going for a 3-1 victory. And Iceland versus Slovakia, both in kind of a similar situation, although Iceland got an impressive 7-0 victory at Liechtenstein. It is Liechtenstein, but even then Iceland don't usually score 7 away from home. Slovakia drew their first game and beat Bosnia 2-0, which was rather impressive. Considering that they'd had a horrific Nations League. But for this game, I am thinking it will end 0-0. So there are my predictions overall. What do you think? Let me know what you think and what your predictions are. And let's hope for a good run of games and see you in the next video.